It's me, JC, down here in the basement listening to some Randy Rhoads, and I got a big stack of records, a ton of Grails, kind of a unique scenario that happened a few weeks ago that I'm excited to tell you about. Plus, I got some new reissues and some new albums that I'm super excited for. So let's start with that. One of my favorite bands, if not my favorite band, Lucero, came out with an unplugged album. Sorry about the glare there. This is Ben Nichols, who is the singer and songwriter of Lucero, and Rick Steff, who is the keyboardist, piano player of Lucero. And they have a double album of some of their best tracks, especially tracks that lend themselves to be played acoustic. Now, I've seen Lucero do an acoustic show way back 10 years ago in Boston. It was awesome. They did like an acoustic show, then an electric show. It was fantastic. This album sounds amazing. Whoever mastered it did such a great job. I have a clip down below of this album, a reel. If you could go check it out and support my favorite band, I would love it. And then hopefully if you like what you hear, go pick up the album. Next, you guys know my favorite record label, Real Gone Music. Keeps putting out the obscure albums that I absolutely love. Well, they did one of my requests, Wild Side. This is a early 90s album, sleaze metal, some glam elements. Look at this, gatefold with liner notes and lyrics. I could not be happier. Real Gone Music, keep doing it, man. Keep putting out these albums. I mean, an OG copy of this is like a $500 record, and you can go get it for like not nearly that. I mean, it's definitely, I think it's like under $40. It might even be less than that. Now, last year they came out with an unofficial. I could tell you that, first off, this cover art is a million times better than this cover art. This looks like a CD that was blown up, where this really has attention to detail. The little boy in the back is not blurry. The guys in the back are not blurry. And it sounds great too. So please, even if you own the unofficial or you own an official press, go get this so you don't damage your $500 record. Okay, so next, here's what happened. I was in a record store and I ran into a gentleman that used to work at a comic book store when I was a teenager. And I hadn't seen him in years. I said, "What are you up to, man?" And he's like, "Oh, do you still collect comics?" I said, "No, I collect records, though." And he said, "Oh, my friend passed away, and I'm selling his record collection. And the money's going all to his family. His family contacted me, and it's only on Saturdays. So I said, "Oh, I'd love to go. Let me see what you got." And he goes, "Well, I love a lot of the hard rock and heavy metal that you love, and I definitely have an amazing album in here, Grail. But let me show you what I got." So first off, I grabbed this Cinderella Heartbreak Station picture disc. Look how cool that art is. Probably never going to play it, but I love Cinderella, and it was just so cool looking. Maybe I'll frame it. Next, and this one was only $5, UTFO and Anthrax. I did own it, but it was in really rough shape, so I gave Carter that copy. And this is that 12-inch single, Lethal. Next is Alice Cooper Trash promo copy. Sounds absolutely incredible. I spun this the other day. Killer is definitely my favorite Alice Cooper, but I have a soft spot for this one just because when it came out, I was, a teenager, and I love that song Poison. First press gold stamp promo, The Cult Sonic Temple. Whoo! Yeah, I love this album. It's so funny because every time everyone shows this album, they always say, "Well, it's not my favorite Cult," or "I like Electric more, I like Love more." So I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is, I love this album, and it's so good. And that song, Firewoman, is a masterpiece. Okay, next. Give me 1 second. Let me just grab this stack of records here. Too many records. I got this at that same place. Anthrax Indians 12-inch single. This has also Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Would eventually find itself on the I'm the Man EP, but it originated there. So very cool cover. Next 12-inch single, Van Halen, I'll Wait. And also Drop Dead Legs. Two of the best songs off 1984 in my opinion. In a very cool blue cover. I have this on a 7-inch single, but now excited to have the 12-inch single. Here we go, guys. So this next one is just an awesome, awesome find. First press, Judas Priest, complete with the 7-inch, with the OB. One of the greatest live albums of all time. One of my subscribers messaged and he said, I used to think this was the greatest live album until I found out they doctored it in the studio. Who gives a fuck? I mean, seriously, dude, relax. If you like the album, who gives a shit? And then lastly, from Roger, yesterday I picked up Pearl Jam Vitalogy first press. How awesome is this? I actually owned this first press back in the day because what happened was when Vitalogy came out, they released the album a week early on vinyl before the CD and the cassette. So I did have a record player back in the 90s and I did buy it a week early and then bought it on CD the following week. So Pearl Jam definitely made some extra money from us record fans back then because, you know, in cars, everybody had CD players. So you had to have it on CD too, or cassette, I would assume. So yeah, first press Vitalogy Pearl Jam. And I listened to it this morning and forgot how absolutely amazing this album is. So super excited to have it in my collection. Okay, guys, there is my video. There is my vinyl finds. I will join you soon with another.